Rom-coms end with a kiss, breakup movies end with tears, but 500 Days of Summer, it starts with a warning. Tom thinks it is, you probably thought it was too, but that's the trap. This isn't about her, it's about him, and how heartbreak doesn't happen when someone leaves. It happens when they never match your fantasy in the first place. Summer isn't cruel, she's just clear.
I love her smile, I love her hair, I love her knees. I love this.
She tells Tom exactly who she is. He just doesn't listen. Because he isn't in love with her, he's in love with the idea of her. The Smiths, her laugh, the way she says, I love Ringo Starr. And when reality doesn't line up with the movie in his head, we all feel it. Because we've all been Tom.
Santa Claus.
Well, what does that word even mean? I've been in relationships and I don't think I've ever seen it.
Now, this isn't a love story, let's get that straight. You think it is because Tom thinks it is, but that's the whole point. 500 Days of Summer is a breakup movie dressed like a rom-com, and for years people have been misreading it. They say Summer's a villain, or she led Tom on, or she didn't love him back the right way. But here's the truth, she told him exactly who she was. From the very start, he just wasn't listening, and that's the part that hurts. Not because she was cruel, but because we've all been Tom. We've all looked at someone and thought, they're the one, before even asking. This movie doesn't unfold in order for a reason, because that's how memory works when you're heartbroken. It jumps around, it romanticizes, it censors, it replays the highs like a mixtape, skipping the red flags like a scratch CD. And Tom, he's not in love with Summer, he's in love with the idea of her. Her smile, her laugh, her taste in records, and coffee and wallpaper. He doesn't really know her, he's just projecting. He's writing a story and casting her in the lead. We're introduced to Summer later on in the movie, but she's not heartless, she's just honest. She never said she wanted forever, she never said that he was the one. But when someone makes you feel special, when they dance with you in IKEA and kiss you in a copy room, how are you supposed to not believe it means something more? That's a trap, and the film knows it. That's why the famous expectations vs reality scenes hit so hard, because that's where Tom's fantasy finally breaks. And the way it's shot, split screen, quiet, devastating, one side hopeful, the other side true, and we feel it, because we've all shown up to something hoping for one thing, and walked away shattered. But here's a twist, this movie doesn't just hate Tom, it wants him to grow. And he does, slowly, painfully, because that's what a heartbreak is. Not a lesson wrapped in a bow, but a slow crumbling redefinition of everything you thought was real. By the end, he stops chasing a fantasy and starts feeling people for what they are, starts seeing people for what they are. He meets someone new, Autumn, and maybe this time he'll actually listen. Maybe this time he won't project. Because 500 Days of Summer isn't a story about how love conquers it all. It's a story about how we romanticize the wrong people, and how we turn compatibility into chemistry, and how letting go isn't failure, it's clarity. Summer didn't break his heart, she reflected it. And Tom was never searching for a person, he was searching for a meaning, a memory. And that's the most human thing of all. So yes, this wasn't a love story, but it was a love story about love. Just not the kind he expected, or you.